Hi guys, I guess it's a story time for the Vipassana course that I owe you. And I would like to start with the fact that it was a completely different experience from the previous year. And I was thinking, okay, I'm ready, I can take totally normal the entire course. I will not be crying and everything will be smooth. Well, basically, it was better, but it was a completely new, total experience from the last year. Um, the changes started with our accommodations. Last year, I was in my private room um, and sharing the bathroom with like 10, 12 other girls. And this time, I was having a roommate, as you might saw in the stories before, and nice girl actually, about my age, and we clicked together very nicely, and we had no issues. Spoiler, no issues during the Vipassana course. And we had our own bathroom shared by just two people, which is very convenient. Another thing that was different from the previous time, the dinner time. So usually we have breakfast and lunch, and around 5 p.m. we had like tea break where you can have some tea, have some fruit, and that's it. And as an old student, I was asked not to have any tea break. So basically, at 11:30 there is a last meal that I can take. So I was quite starving, yes, quite hungry all the time, and I wanted to eat pretty much constantly. But I've noticed that being empty on my stomach actually helped a lot to focus during the meditation. So yeah, definitely is a bonus for meditation time. And I guess I lost a few pounds during that meditation time. Well, it's back already, don't worry. I ate pretty nicely when I came back home. So I guess that's it about the difference by staying in the Vipassana center. But yeah, so how it went, right? Last year, as you might remember, maybe some of you, right? I had as an epiphany, um, I had a huge layer of hate and anger just wiped out of my system. I was hating every single person around me, including, everybody, my friends, my clients, my husband, my family, like everyone, like the guy who blowing the leaves outside. So everybody, and I was fed up with the humanity in general. Every driver, like I don't know, every kid, everything was so much annoying, and that was a huge layer that I peeled off last time. And I remember I had that full loving heart after, so I was in love with every single creature. And it's like, just, how can I say it, you feel unconditional love to everything. That was the last year. This year, that was so much different. So I didn't have that burning hate in my heart. I had, like, some annoyance towards, like, that or this person, and but it was just annoyance. I didn't want to, like, stab the fork in the throat, or, like, like in a Kill Bill, all the blood spilling out. So I wasn't that cruel. All I had to think about was like, oh, she's kind of annoying looking, oh, she's kind of like annoying walking. So that's the extent of my negativity, which is, I think, it's a huge progress. And again, spoiler, when I was talking to the new students afterwards, right, like after the course, they all said the same thing, that these huge hate towards the humanity peeled off, and the anger and the, like, all this like ill will, negativity comes out on your surface, which is good. I guess it's common for most of the people, and that's how you deal with this inner, like, soul, I guess, impurities. Because as I figure out, everybody from the childhood had to deal with this suppressed emotions, and anger is the first one that you have to deal with. Like, don't cry, don't scream, behave, clients is always right, don't scream at your teacher, don't scream at your parents, don't scream at your little brother. Don't. Just be polite, be nice, be patient. And we don't know how to deal with this, right? Anger, which is building up inside, and we don't know how to let it go. So basically, we suppress this emotion, trying to direct our mind to something else. Do sport, I don't know, meet friends, watch a movie, and the emotion stuck somewhere deep inside the soul and doesn't let it go. So we pretend not to see this emotion. We pretend not to pay attention to it, right? But it's still there. So I guess when you focus on your inner well-being during this meditation time, which actually Vipassana wants you to focus on your inner, inner self, I would say, and that's the first layer that goes under the onto surface, which is good. I think the more people get rid of this negativity, the better the world becomes, because we're trying to project this negativity towards each other, and that's when the world is getting sick, right? We all hate each other sooner or later. So I think it's very, very therapeutical. Of course, there is a lot of ways how you deal with anger, but that's one of them. Okay, so first 3 days, it's usually you just prepare yourself for the Vipassana, which first 3 days you just learn how to breathe and how to focus on your breathing and observe the breathing. So quite boring. Your mind always wants to wander away, and you have difficult time to concentrate your mind, and that's when it's you kind of start feeling uneasy, you don't really want to do that all the time. But this time I'm actually was I surrounded myself early. Last year I remember I was super resistant and stubborn, so the the breakthrough was happening on the day 8, which is quite far. So this time it was easier because I was surrounded myself, and it's okay, I'm here on this prison by myself for a reason. I want to stay. I want to do it for myself, not for everybody else, right? And I was very patient to myself. Let myself adapt to this stage of mind and concentrate better. So on day 3 I was already totally concentrating nicely, and I was actually experienced the Vipassana again by myself without the leading by Goenka. So by myself I remember this state where it's as I mentioned before last year, that you reach the state when you concentrate your mind so much, so you feel like your body is doesn't have the same borders as you feel, right? It's you don't understand where the body ends and where the atmosphere and the world around starts. So basically you feel subatomic particles that your body actually consists of, right? As you, in the scientific way, we're not solid matter, right? We are very tiny subatomic particles which vibrates all the time. That's what exactly you feel. You go to that deep level where you feel like you're not solid mass. You're just vibrating, I don't know, mass of particles. And that's a very sensory-oriented technique. So you feel completely, I don't know how to explain it. If you never tried it, it's pre-orgasmic experience, where your entire body vibrates, and any single move, that's why during Vipassana you're not allowed to move, because every single move actually disturb it, and you feel like an electro wave, kind of like electroshock in your body, in a good way. I mean, it's so pleasant that you start developing craving towards it, and you start being an addict. You want to come back to that stage. It's feeling I don't know, after ecstasy maybe. I never taken drugs, but some other people experience it like that. So so maybe, so funny, you craving this state of mind, state of your body, which the minute you start craving, you lose it. Funny. I was also thinking hey, if I would be pregnant, for example, and I do this Vipassana, right? Do I like, will I be able to feel actually my baby inside as a mass of particles also, like, vibrating and stuff? Like, I wonder, I wonder very much, like, once maybe, like, in the future I'm pregnant, I want to try to reach that state and see how it goes. So that's kind of thoughts, yeah, I develop on the day 3. So day 4, day 5 passed, and on the 5th day, I had the big realization started coming. And I remember one of my friends asked me, like, hey, is it true that Vipassana, people say that Vipassana is a very therapeutical process, and it can be like as an substance, like, what's it, like, I mean, like, you can basically substitute it with a psychologist or something. And I was like, not really, like, I don't know. But this time, yes, I can tell, yes, 100%. It's very therapeutical process, and you start understanding a lot of truth about yourself, a lot of truth about the world in general, about people, humanity, like your actions, your thoughts process. So it's a lot to learn, and this time it went like twice or 3 times deeper than before, which I had no idea I can go that deep into my subconscious, so-called subconscious, right, mind. So, like, one of the realizations, for example, I came up with, so the motivations behind the actions, it's like so much important, but we pay attention, like little attention towards this topic. For example, there is a doctor that can save lives, right? And this is amazing, amazing motivation, right, for the humanity. Like, you work to save life of other people, or, like, to cure them from the disease. But if the motivation is wrong, for example, if it's like summertime and there's no patients coming, right? It's not the season for the flu, cold, or whatever. Doctors can be very sad. They have no money, no clients, and they kind of hope for people to get sick so they come and bring money. This is the wrong motivation. I mean, like, I'm talking about the easy examples, but according to my life, what I've noticed, for example, with my medal, right? In 2024, I became the pole champion, so I got the title in my category, but I had no joy. Like, I was so sad and disappointed, and yeah, I've become a champion, which I dreamed about, like, for so many years. And all of a sudden I feel nothing, and that's partially because it was the wrong motivation. That's what I realized only like 2 weeks ago. The good motivation would be, for example, to say, wow, I'm, like, developing my skills, and I want to share this art, what I can do with other people. I want to inspire them to do the same. I want to, do my best and be proud of who I've become and what way I've went through. That would be the good motivation. My motivation was wrong. I was thinking, and I'll open my heart to you. I hope you don't take it against me. I think I just want to be open to you and tell you what really goes on and how important it is to realize your motivation. So my motivation was like that. I've got a lot of my students who actually got the first places in their categories, and I've never gotten the first place before, right? And I was very jealous. I was sincerely jealous that I'm the teacher and I'm not able to get the first place when my clients, right, my students who kind of, not as good as I am by definition, got the first places. Yeah, I understand that it's beginner categories and stuff, but that's a big deal for them, right? And in their categories, it's appropriate. And I was super jealous. I wanted to prove myself and to prove everybody else around that I'm worthy. I'm worthy the title, the medal, and I wanted to be noticed, but not in a way like, hey, here I am, and I wanted just to show myself to the world, present myself. No, I wanted like to say, hey, everybody, look at me. I'm here and I'm the best. Basically, very self-centered, very, with full of ego and kind of like. So it wasn't pure. And of course, when I got the medal, I wasn't happy about this because I was still not very, how can I say it, like very content with my performance. That was the program that wasn't clean. And yeah, I was even embarrassed to show the entire, choreography because I actually didn't feel that it's worth the first place. That's it. So I never showed the entire piece with this. Yeah, somehow I got the first place, but it's not valuable. For example, when I got the third place for the first time, first my medal, I was performing on 200% of my ability. Everything was super clean, super, like top notch. And I was so proud of myself. All I wanted, I wasn't planning to get any medal. All I wanted just to perform nicely so I can be proud of myself. And that was the happiest appearance on stage for me. And I've got the medal, like third place, but still, like the motivation was different, right? And you can apply that too towards anything in your life, like how you like, treat your family, your kids, your husband. You can do a lot of correct, healthy, wholesome things and actions. But if your motivation is wrong, nobody will be happy of it. Yes, you can wake up and be the good girl, good, housewife, take care of your kids, your house is perfectly clean. Every time there's like, warm food on the table, you just perfect everything, like you do everything perfect, but nobody is happy in the family because they feel like you do it because you must, not because you actually want to do right and you want to spend time with your like family. So yeah, motivation actually, it's a big deal. So that's what I realized, one of the realization on the fifth day. But yeah, like on day on day 6, next day, that's when everything started to happen. So it started to happen with this girl that started to annoy me more and more. And I was like looking at her and like, hey, what's going on? Why you annoy me so much? And I actually, one day I was looking at her. You're not supposed to look at, in the eye, like have an eye contact with each other or speak, right? But I was looking at her, trying to understand what's annoying the shit out of me. And I figured out that she looks exactly like one of my friends from, from my youth, from my university time. And I had like a deep connection to that person. And she looks exactly like him, just in a woman's body. And I was like, oh shit, that's why, that's something. Okay, I'll try to look into this a little bit more careful and to see what's going on over there. So when I started to think about this and try to unfold what's going on with me while it triggers me so much, it means something is painful, right, inside, some kind of like ache hidden inside. So, and yeah, I started to realize that more and more unfolds, and I've got a very painful and nasty situations with that, and our relationship didn't end the way it's supposed to be. So I had I've hold this some kind of pain during my entire life. It's for what, like 18 years long. Shit. So yeah, and I wasn't realizing that it's actually so much pain over there, and I need to reveal it somehow. So I don't want to share too much information here. It's like very personal. But when I went to Russia, I was able to like close a lot of, I don't know how to say it in English. It's like Gestalt therapy. It's like some of the part of the therapy that you close in the deals. Kind of, if you started something, you have to close it. Otherwise, it'd be forever open finale, and everybody hates movies with open finale. So you want to kind of close the case, right? So, and I was able to close the case and solve it with my father. I haven't talked to him for like 13 years, and I was able to meet and talk and express what bothers me for all these years. And all I needed to hear from him, actually, I realized that just few words, that he still loves me and he's proud of me, and he's proud of the woman I've become. He's proud to call me his daughter. And for like 13 years, or maybe my entire life, I was just waiting for these words to be, to hear. Maybe, of course, like you assume, like, yeah, this, like, why do you need to hear it? Like, everybody shows through the actions. But sometimes you just need to hear this to confirm it. And I was waiting for these words, and I didn't realize it for so many years. That he's still proud of me, that he accepts me, he still loves me as his daughter. So yeah, and I was so happy with that, and my heart was so light and free and happy. So that was the closing deal. Another closing deal was with my first love. So I met him 20 years after. So we were in school when we were together. He was my first love, first man, and a lot of things going on with him, and I still love him. He is still dear to my heart, despite like I have other relationship in my life. So we met. I don't know even how. Like, we met and we talked, just talked and talked and talked, and we were able to ask each other questions, that we were not able to ask when we were kids. Like, hey, why would you do that? Why would you react that? Do you think, like, if we stay together, something would be different? Or did we miss the life, opportunity? So we were talking about all that stuff. And I found the answers that I was looking for my entire life also. We broke up very, also very, how can I say it? Non-mature, right? So I was still a kid, and just kind of did it cold turkey. So stopped replying to him. And all for these years, I was hoping that he actually forgives me, had a chance to say, please forgive me. And that's what I said to him. That's what I said. I said, like, hey, I'm so sorry we did this way. That's not supposed to be, and I feel your pain. I'm so sorry that I was a kid and I didn't act mature, and it was a painful process for both of us. Please forgive me. And he told me, yes, I forgave you, like, long time ago. It's not even matter. But for me to hear this answer, right, that meant the world. So now my heart is again in rest, and like I feel so much light and happy that I closed the deal, and it's never gonna bother me anymore. And that's fine that we're talking, like, yeah, even if we stay together, we won't be able to like be happy and during this or that process, or like these kind of things. But we were like talking as adults. This is perfect, and we still have this very very warm feelings towards each other, because we're like first love of each other, right? You cannot just throw it away and pretend it wasn't in your life. I think it's totally fine to accept the idea that you can have love to so many people around you, and the love is not like, what's it, separating each other and pushing the other person that you love. It's like, your heart is so big, why do you need to be only focused on one person when you can love a lot of people in your life, right? You're not loving your kids less than your husband. You're not loving your mom less than your first love. I mean, it's all love. And with this particular case, so yeah, I was able to close the other deal. In Russia, I thought I wasn't closing the deal, but actually I did. And that was like, we had some kind of weird relationships, like, I don't know, like friends with benefits or something. Here, like, on and off. And we're like having like other relationship, like normal relationship, but this kind of friendship we carry on was a little bit, I mean, like, weird a little bit. Like, we were super close friends, but we never had a relationship as partners, like a boyfriend and girlfriend. We kind of were weird about that. And I remember he asked me questions like, why we never had a relationship like that when I was in Russia. And it was like, I don't know. But on Vipassana, I actually understood why. I understood that I was afraid, I was afraid to be judged, or like to, yeah. And all I wanted, actually, like the closure that I realized. Anyway, so I'm not talking about that deep, but the reason, like, why I'm a little bit happy to say it out loud, that I thought we're not closing deals, right? Like, we still have open finale. But no, actually we didn't, because on this day he told me that I was also his first love, which is crazy. And of course I had feelings towards him, right? We wouldn't be together like for as long as we were. And just hearing this out loud, that I loved you, like, right, it's such a revealing feeling. And of course, like, always probably, somewhere thought about this and felt it, but we never actually said it to each other, we love you, like, I love you. And hearing it for real from this person, oh, that was a huge relief. And now I'm kind of like, everything, like, all the puzzles come together, and I feel so much light. Oh my gosh, I was able to close all the past in my life, like all the things that matter the most. I was able to conclude it. And I felt so much happy, like, oh my gosh, finally I can close the door to Russia. And finally this entire, like, oh, how can I say it, like, it feels like a past life that has been properly, the door was properly closed to every single aspect about, my previous relationship, about my father, like, relationship, my mom, my brother, like, everybody. I was saying proper goodbyes to my grandparents that I couldn't see. I even said proper goodbye to my cat that died without me in Russia. So that was a lot of closing the deals. And I only realized during Vipassana that I actually properly closed everything. And there's nothing like a burden on my heart anymore, which is so much revealing. Oh my gosh, so much revealing. Another thing that I realized, and that became a part of my daily life, actually, and I hope it will stay forever. Vipassana actually is not a meditation. It's not about meditation. It's about living of life. It's about art of living your life. And the only way how you actually understand it is going on an experiential level, not through your mind. Through your mind, like, you understand a lot, but you don't really. But when you experience it, it becomes a part of you. For example, like, when I was learning swimming, um, like, theoretically, right, technically, I know everything. You place your hands this way, your body this way, you breathe out, that's how you swim. Easy peasy, right? Easy, everybody can understand. But once you're in the water, that's a different story. That's not as easy, maybe, or not as like what you thought of, or maybe like cold or hot, whatever. It's like tons of different things that vary, and it's not the same. So Vipassana is kind of like that. So basically, you understand everything with your mind, observe your breath, focus on your body sensations, blah, blah, blah. But once you do that proper way, oh my gosh, that's such a big difference. And one of my biggest realization was, when you work with your body, whatever happens within your body frame, it's actually the mini copy of everything that happens around you in a big world, in this universe. Like, for example, when you sit in one certain position and you're not allowed to move, you start feeling sensations in your body, which, like, sometimes it's an itchy sensation, sometimes it's like, your leg goes numb, maybe like something starts poking, like, on the side, like you want to I don't know, some different, like maybe you become cold somewhere, different sensations. But once you're not allowed to scratch the itch, for example, and you just, all you do is just observing it and focusing your mind on it, and then trying to focus your mind on other sensations, it becomes a little bit, how can I say it? Like, for example, imagine you sit, here's pain starts, here's itching, here's like, you're feeling cold, here's feeling numb, here's throbbing sensation, here's like, feels like an ant crawling into your nose, like all weird kind of things. And one is like here and there and there and there, it's like becomes a symphony of sensations in your body, which is like a lot. And you kind of stop focusing on each and every one, and you kind of like, how can I say it, like feel everything at the same time, which becomes less intense, and like you find it as a white noise now. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, I know that sometimes the kids when like sleep better when it's like super noisy. For example, if it's quiet room, they like sleep very shallow, right? And they wake up constantly. But if it's like noisy, like megapolis, like New York, and you go on the streets and here's like, here's like screaming, here's coughing, here's laughing, here's crying, here's like beeping, here's like the police sirens, like all the noise around, and one of the like in one moment everything becomes as a white noise for you, and you just don't hear a particular sound. It's just a sound that you don't really pay attention to, right? And the kids sleep better with the white noise, and you kind of stopped focusing your attention on this everything's around you, and that's a lot of revealing, right? Like you don't have this weight towards everything that annoys you, and that's real life. Like, for example, I remember I was running, and you know nice sunny day, I'm running on my own, there was no people, perfect. And all of a sudden here's like the grandma slowing, like her walk, and I need to like change my direction, or here's a kid screaming, or here's a car stopping, or here's a bicycle stopping, and everybody's like all of a sudden gets you know on my nerves. And but once you like stop focusing on one and kind of observe everything, and like I don't know, yeah, it's like everything becomes a white noise, and you stop feeling hate towards each other. So basically, I don't know how to explain it. It's like uh, everything before was annoying to me, and now it's like I feel it is a part of the process, part of life, And in life, there is so much stuff going on, and Vipassana is not about how you want to see the life, or how you uh, like want not to see it. Like, for example, right, you want to good life, good job, good family, but I don't know, you don't like a job, and everything feels off, and you're very sad or depressed, because of this job, and constantly like paying attention to some negativity, when you can redirect your mind, and not focusing on that much, and just I don't know, everything becomes so much happier. um, Everything is more light, and Vipassana is about seeing the life how it is, reality as it is, without the way how you would like it to be, or would not like it to be. So it's as it is, and the world as it is. You cannot live in the perfect world where nothing annoys you. Here and there, like million times, and million things annoys you during the day. Red light, I don't know, slow cashier, um, like noisy neighbor, I don't know, the long line to pick up your kid. Your kid is not like following your directions, right? Your husband is an aggressive one. Whatever, like everything is annoying in life. In general, it's a very miserable life. But there is a way how to deal with this, not to make the space around you tense, because you like negative emotions, everything tense. You look tense, like all your family is tense, they feel something's going on, and yeah, life becomes tense. And Vipassana teaches you through your body how to find the comfort in uncomfortable situations, or how to not create any negativity towards little things. The reason why, because everything will pass. That's the philosophy behind the Vipassana. Everything will arise and pass, arise and pass. This annoying neighbor, like, how long it will take? Maybe like 15 minutes being annoying, maybe an hour, maybe 2 days, but eventually it will pass. He will not be annoying and noisy for the rest of your life, right? You'll move on to different, apartment, different house, whatever. Your kid will grow up, your husband will change, your job, like other people will be different. So everything changes in life constantly. The only permanent thing in life is changing. Changing is the permanent. Nothing else is permanent. So you have to be okay with changes, constant changes. And you have to be, not to emphasize little single events and things, arising on the surface of your life. It's just, it's gonna pass. Why would you develop this negativity towards something that will pass in a minute, right? So that's the entire philosophy behind it, and this is the thing that I'm gonna take for further, and I hope it will stay with me for a long time at least. So yeah, there's like, of course, a lot more to to share with you, and I feel like it's a 3D dig into myself, into my suppressed emotions and thoughts, and um, all these things going up into my surface. But yeah, I would say, like, last year, I remember I was suggesting that every single human in the world must go through Vipassana at least once. Now I can tell every single human must go through the Vipassana at least twice. At least twice. Why? Because the first time you actually don't understand anything. You just feel this um, level of an aggressive layer of your life, basically, and you kind of become less annoyed with everything. And the second time, it's actually, now you go deep, now you reach something further hidden away from from the just the view. So yeah, I was talking to other girls in the Vipassana course who took like 5 or 8 times already, and was like, "Hey, what's motivated you to continue doing this? Like, why so many times every year? Like, why would you do that?" And they said, "Well, if you compare your first and second course, how deep did you go?" And it was like, "Oh, 2 or 3 times deeper. That's like crazy." And they said, "Imagine every single time like that." And for me right now, it's hard to understand there's a deeper level exists, because I think I'm already like, you know, realize life and like figure out all this life, and I'm like guru already. But exactly the same thoughts I had last year when I thought, oh my gosh, I just figured out everything in life, which not. So I wonder, like, maybe I'll do it like yearly, kind of silent retreat for me to refresh my mind and to to uncover, sorry, everything from the deep down of me. I don't know, but it's a very nice experience. And as a matter of fact, I'm already like sleeping better again. So that was like my bonus from past last year, and this year again, my sleep becomes so deep, so refreshing, relaxing, restorative, and I feel so much rested. And I sleep less, actually. I sleep like 6 hours now, and I feel so refreshed. So yeah, definitely a lot of benefits. So I hope this video was informative for you, interesting, and sorry, maybe sometimes my speech is not, my thoughts are not collective yet. It's really hard to explain things when you don't know what it is. Like, for example, if the person never seen I don't know, orange color, how can you explain what kind of orange color it is? So that's something about Vipassana. I don't know how to explain it to you better way, in a better way, so you can understand what it is actually. And I would actually highly recommend you to think about this, take a time, and maybe do a one time 10-day Vipassana course. That's a lot of benefits to you, for sure. If not, if it's not like it's not really required, right? But I've noticed a lot of benefits into my life, and in general, I'm becoming more happy and opening my heart easily to the people around me. So hopefully, I'm becoming a better person. Not from the ego perspective, but from the heart. So thank you again for your time, for your attention. It's really means a lot to me. And if you have any other questions that I didn't cover in my speech, please reach out to me, and maybe I'll be happy to discuss it with you. Maybe meet over on a cup of tea or coffee, and talk about this experience, because it's definitely a life-changing experience. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.